successful. Doesn't mean go through the list of every supercar you ever wanted to have. It doesn't mean plan on how you're going to show how you did this, bought that one, went into debt for this one. But it does mean when I make this much money and I reach this goal, I'm going to visit this destination. And that's what I did. I had destinations outlined and schedules. I would like to get, hear what I said there? I would like to get to Fiji by this age at this time. I would like to get to Australia. I was going to go, but there's too many fucking things in Australia that want to kill you, and it's too easy, so I stayed the fuck away from Australia. But the idea of planning where we're going to spend our success, the things that we want to do. Like I always wanted a nice home. I still want a log cabin. I've been trying to talk my wife into it. She's not big on the whole thing, but I think they're beautiful. And I'm not talking about some Uncle Ben's bullshit. Okay, I'm talking about a really nice out in like Montana, big sprawling log cabin, big ass fireplace. I think that would be awesome. Even if we use it for just the holiday season, that'd be awesome. But and get some horses and stuff. When I was younger, my family had horses and stuff, so I'm used to having that. So that's for the guys that were saying, why did you talk about that neat hoof guy? Because I grew up around all that stuff. And when you see it, we don't look at it like, ew. But anyway, I digress. Planning your success, and I'm going to close it. What do you want to acquire in life? And you need to be very, very specific. If it's just lots of money, that's not specific. And having a dollar amount is not what I'm asking. Where are you going to be living? And how are you going to be living? How is your ends going to be met? Are you rushing to get to something like a big house, even if you pay cash for it? Your big houses cost a lot of money when they go down. Like you have to repair things, you have to replace things. You got to, just to paint my walls of my house that I got 2 years ago, something like that. Cost me $48,000 just to paint the walls. Not the ceiling. I got to do them this year. Where's that money going to come from? If you have a big house, you want to buy a big arsenal of cars. Okay, that's going to cost you lots of money in upkeep if you're going to keep them, or waste money turning them, giving them back to get money. I did all those things. It's stupid. You can buy a supercar and pay $15,000 for the oil changes. That's stupid. That's dumb. And you're spending that money to get a pop from people that you're not going to spend time with. You're monetizing your personal expenses to fund a small, significant amount of time. And whenever that response is given to you by adoration from people that you're never going to meet, oh man, I wish I was like so-and-so. Look at their cars. Oh, I wish I was like him because he made this much money, so-and-so, in this trade. Once that's said, it's over, done. But you're stuck with the bill and the wasted money. I learned those lessons in my 20s. I'm comfortable never showing anybody anything. I don't need to do that. And that's the mentality I want you as a student of mine. Like, you don't care what people think that you make or don't have. Who cares? Who cares? Is it changing? If you, honestly, okay, you got a couple $1 million just in one bank account, just in one. And that's where you draw from when things, got to be paid, and what you draw from for the year, when there's so many parties, and you're going to be doing gifts and vacations, and you're doing this and doing that. Anybody's opinion about you, what you can and can't do, is it going to diminish the amount of money in that bank account? The way these people fucking act on social media, you think that they're going broke every time someone says something bad about them. That's how you know when they're fucking really broke. If they're broke or on the cusp of being broke at any given time, or just don't have any money at all, they're the ones who are going to be the loudest when you talk about money. Oh, you broke. Oh, let me get out here and defend myself. Show my stuff. Let me show my stuff. That's how you know they don't have a lot of money. People that have a lot of money, they don't spend any time worrying, because it's like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who are you? Who are you? And that's the problem right now. You're looking at post millions problems before you even made a dollar. You're trying to live your life like you got to defend yourself, defend who you're learning from, defend what you're learning because you're too vocal in a position of ignorance still. That's not a demeaning remark. That's me saying some of you go out there and you beat your chest and you say, ICT is the best way of trading, blah, 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 but you can't do it yet. And when people throw you smack talk back, you clam up, and that means you've completely took that counteractive response that they give you, which is natural, right? If you're going to talk smack, somebody on the internet's going to talk smack back. And they probably work in a Dunkin' Donuts, and they're never going to make it in life anywhere. But that little remark, because you're not equipped yet, that little remark is going to have a lasting impression. And it's going to cut you deep. And it's going to motivate you. Well, I'm going to go on here and watch. I'm going to take a trade, and I'm going to reply and show where my arrows are on this trade. And bada bing, bada boom, I've redeemed. Think about how many times you've done that. How many times have you done that because you feel like you got to defend what you're learning? Look around. Our community, and the giants that are rising up from it are doing all the proof that's necessary. If it didn't work, they wouldn't be taking millions of dollars out of these companies. And they're not affiliates. Make that make sense. You don't need to defend anything. Put your ass in the charts. Study. Don't worry about what I'm doing next in a new video. I don't really want to do them, okay? You have enough. You have enough. And if you put yourself in front of the charts and you study and you work on pruning yourself, that means removing dead branches, the twigs that are dried up that's not going to bear any fruit. It might be friendships. Maybe you're in a friendship that's toxic as shit. Maybe you're around friends that you've known all your life, and I did this. And they just are not subscribed to how you're wanting to live your life in the direction you're taking it. And all they care about is weekend money, girl money. I got to get my job. Can you borrow money? Can they borrow money from you? Because they're going to be short on this week so they can go to the bar and try to get laid. I had people like that in my life. Not anymore. Not anymore. My friends are on one hand now. And one of them has the majority of my time if I ever give it out. I have a very, very small circle of friendship. Where I was younger, I had lots of friends. And when I was coming up and making money, I had lots more fucking friends. I had people that didn't even fucking know me. They called me their best friend. Oh yeah, I know him. He's loaded me. Watch this. And I felt like I had to do stupid shit, like pay for everybody's meal, pay for everybody's entertainment. Because I felt that I had to do those things or they wouldn't believe me because I was new money. New money acts like that. I'm telling you, when you make your money, don't act like new money. That means don't go proving something that you already know for yourself. That's weakness on your part and lacking character. You have all the evidence that you have in your own hands, in your own bank account, and your own results. There's no necessity for you to go out there and say, I'm going to go put this out there in the ether so that way they can remind me that this is real. That's what you're doing. And the people that have put the work and effort into doing this, they're not going out there for the sake of flaunting it. Now, do they go out and buy nice things? Sure. There's nothing wrong with that. But they're not making that's the entirety of their presentation and that's who they are. They're showing you the receipts that they've done well. In my opinion, none of you should do that. I understand if you came from a humble background like I did, you just want to have a little attaboy, attagirl. You just want to have it. Okay, I understand. Believe me, I understand. If anybody doesn't understand it or understands it more than anybody else, it's going to be me. Because I felt like I had to prove everything to the whole world. But when you change your nightmare focus of how everything is bad, toxic, it's never going to work for you, and you trade that for everything on the up and up, and a ride on the good ship lollipop. Everything's just perfect. And everything that happens to you is for a purpose. Even when it is slightly painful, we don't magnify it. We don't beat up a trade and say, well, man, You should have never lost that. You should have never let it hit the stop. You knew it was going to hit that stop, but you still kept the trade on. Why did you do that? You should have took it off. You knew the stop was going to get hit. You should have saved some of the stop. Don't even do that either. Because what you're doing is you're vilifying yourself. And right before you trade, let me tell you something. This is what's scientifically going on behind the scenes chemically inside your brain. Right before you push the button, even in a demo, all these people talking, oh, you got to trade with real money to learn how to trade with a real account. Because nothing's happening. There's no sense of concern when it's a demo. Bullshit. Bullshit. Tell me how you feel when you blew that account the first time you did it. You were pissed off, like, fuck. Man, if that would have been real money, that's scary. Shit, I ain't ready. Oh, just do a reset click. That's your dismissal of it. But you knew what that felt like. So the people that talk that shit say, oh, yeah, nah, that's horse shit. That's horse shit.